It's a joke, man. Pierce, it's not worth it.
Look, so the problem in the outset with this discussion is that we don't even fully know the motivations of this killer, this shooter. And so the people that are already making these declarations or trying to, come to a conclusion about this, it's already disingenuous. We have to let more information come out before we can decide this. What you're about to see is a pretty explosive back and forth between Cornel West and this Andrew Wilson character. And definitely not a fan of Andrew Wilson. And we're gonna let this clip play out. I might have some comments throughout and let you know what I think. Apologize a little bit under the weather today, but I wanted to comment on this video. So
woeful misuse, particularly of the word Nazi, towards Trump and his supporters. This is part of the problem.
Well, I think part of the deeper problem, though, Brother Pierce, is that the organized greed and weaponized hatred and routinized indifference toward the vulnerable has come together in such a way that it has eroded the sources of character formation, so that integrity, honesty, decency, and self-critical sensibilities of individuals and groups is more and more disappearing. So you end up with because hatred itself is promiscuous, just like greed, just like indifference toward the suffering of others. It's promiscuous. It will lie with the left, right, center. It lies with Christians. It lies with Muslims. It lies with Jews. It lies with Buddhists. It lies with Hindus. And human beings were so wretched in the first place. If we don't undergo some kind of spiritual and moral cultivation, we end up falling back on greed and hatred and indifference.
perfectly reasonable statements, right? I mean, I agree 100%. It is the moral decay that comes from, the rich and the wealthy and the powerful ganging up and stealing and taking away the decency from society and from groups of people. And you're not going to just, pick one group of individuals, like he says, black, white, whatever, and say, oh, these humans are more violent or these humans are more wretched or whatever than others. No, it is the circumstances that they find themselves in socioeconomically, etc., born out from the society at whole that forces people into certain, radicalizations or violence, etc. And not to mention the violence and, these types of things we have seen more from the right than on the left recently anyway. So all this heavy lifting that they're trying to do in order to frame this as a left-wing rhetoric problem is it's just that it's complete bullshit. It's totally unfounded. And it suits their narrative. It is part of this, right-wing grifter cult mentality. And we just can't stand for it. So,
and I mean, the American empire at this moment is one in which the lethal combination of the hatred and the greed and the indifference generates very much the exchange that we just saw. You see, this brother right here says, well, all leftists want to see me dead. When I'm a leftist, I don't want to see you dead. I'm a Christian.
You called Trump's administration a neo-fascist movement, you lunatic. People.
And now look how animated Andrew Wilson gets. Cornel West is just saying facts. I mean, Trump's administration is a neo-fascist organization. There's nothing, is that inciting violence? Am I inciting people to go do? No, because we have to understand what these political terms mean, what it means to be a fascist. Trump is, his tendencies are fascistic. They are authoritarian. It is what it is. You can't debate that. There's no debating that. So what, are we not supposed to just say what the reality of the situation is? What does Andrew Wilson want us to do? Does he want us to shut our eyes, close our ears, excuse me, and forget that, reality exists? Give me a fucking break. And the fact that he's getting so amped up and worked up about it, it just shows you he has absolutely no idea what he's thinking about or talking about or anything really.
You call Trump's administration a neo-fascist movement, you lunatic. People
yes,
have
indeed.
gone out
You're
of your
absolutely
way.
right.
You have gone out of your way.
No, let me make the case. Let me make the case. Let me make the case.
Oh, yeah.
You did everything possible to cultivate this, as if there was nothing else going on in terms of the deep rot in our society, online internet culture, Groyper, far right internet culture, Reddit culture, fucking video game, like we don't know what the fuck's going on with this kid yet. So again, like this conclusion that Andrew Wilson is coming to, I hope you guys don't listen to this fucking guy.
Will you allow me to speak, brother? Come on, man. Come on. No, you haven't. I've made the case. If you think I've made the case, then you're not interested in dialogue.
You just said this brother over here said this.
You're very, very different than Brother Charlie, man. You're very different than Charlie, though, man. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
and I can
it's
make the
rhetoric
case
from
for that,
people
too.
like you that got that man killed, sir.
No.
It's rhetoric from people like you that got that man killed. Where's your evidence? You're just saying shit. Again, we don't know what the motive of the killer was. We're still sussing that out. We're still trying to figure. He might have been a leftist. Okay. But we don't know. Was he listening to Cornel West's, rhetoric on what the definition of Trump's administration was, or Kyle Kalinske and these? Like, we don't know, you jackass. Like, let's let the situation breathe. Let's figure it out and come to a conclusion. But his reaction is just absolutely radical and ridiculous.
No. There are such a thing as neo-fascists. But Piers, why you have a brother on who's not going to allow nobody to speak, man? We're just wasting time. If all you're interested in is making your money, and you bring this brother on it, and nobody can say a word, and we can't even mourn Brother Charlie passing. I had dialogues with Brother Charlie. This brother's going to say, oh, this kumbaya and so forth. No. Charlie was made in the image of a loving and mighty God. I believe that. I say my prayers for Sister Erica and the kids, because this brother wants to trash my Christian sensibility. And look at him laughing now. It's a joke, man. Pierce, it's not worth it.
Is Charlie Kirk part of the neo-fascist movement?
Not with this brother.
Is he part of your neo-fascist movement?
Not with this brother.
Yeah.
When Charlie himself says that he is against Civil Rights Act, does that make him a proponent of Jim Crow? When he calls Martin Luther King Jr. an awful human being and a scumbag? I'm critical of that. I am.
What the fuck?
Critical of that. You're absolutely right, Brother Wilson. You're absolutely right.
Now, in just analyzing the debate strategies, both these guys, look, I like Cornel West. There's a reason he polled at like less than like 0.1% in the presidential election. He did actually run for president last time around. Probably I agree with him on most of his policies more than any of the other candidates. But the way he doesn't sell his he doesn't sell as well as he could. He's very high-minded. He's very smart. He's very well-spoken. He's very energetic. There's a way he could probably come down and communicate a little bit easier with the majority of people. And then Andrew Wilson is just an absolute insufferable, arrogant fucking prick, and that is just the objective reality. I mean, like, he's just the worst. I mean, the way he sits there and he like sits in this dark like cave of a room and pretends that he like knows better than everyone. He's like this high and mighty individual, but he admits it that he gets his knowledge from like the divine source, or like he knows reality, or his logic is the most logical because it comes straight from God. It's like instant argument just falls to pieces. Like, you get your logic from an imaginary person in the sky, and he acts like he's this fucking tough macho guy. He's a far right wing, Christian nationalist, rotten brained buffoon, and that's pretty much it. So
all you're going to do is be arrogant. You're arrogant just like the so-called leftists you're talking about. But Piers, you making your money, brother. Go on and make your money, man.
It's not about making.
Not worth it.
Cornel,
this brother
it's not
right
about
here
making
is
money.
part of the problem. This other brother who has a deep connection to Charlie, he's willing to at least listen. But this brother's not willing to listen.
Cornel, can you sit down? I would like you to remain part of the debate.
This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. He's smoking his cigarettes with his arrogant self. Come on, man. We don't have enough dialogue at all.
Surely you're not going to walk out in a debate about dialogue.
Go on and make your money, man.
Right.
And there he goes. Look, at the end of the day, should he have stormed off? No, he should have calmed himself down a little bit, stayed in the pocket, stay part of the debate, because it looks like at the end of the day, Andrew Wilson can go ahead and claim victory. People are not going to listen to the substantive part of that, whatever you could suss out of that. Hopefully I tried to explain that. But it doesn't look good. Optically, it's bad. Piers Morgan might not have him on again. And then Andrew Wilson obviously gets to maintain his platform and continue spilling and spewing his nonsense. So, it's just, who knows if I would have done something similar in the situation. Again, I like Cornel West. I understand it's an emotional subject, it's an emotional time. But yeah, in terms of pure strategy, man, Cornel West, just stay in the pocket, stay in, try to get your points out. Don't get rattled by that jackass and keep moving forward. But anyway, so there you have it. That's that exchange there. Cornel West storming off in after a very emotional exchange there on Piers Morgan, and we are still in the aftermath of the Charlie Kirk assassination, trying to figure out what is going on, and we will keep an eye on it. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.